was a big turnout yesterday in Chinatown for the annual Golden Dragon Parade.
Thousands of people lining the streets to see the beautiful floats and marching bands. The festival's been going on since the mid-'80s. It's a celebration of Chinese arts and culture and follows this past Tuesday's Lunar New Year. Attendees say the event is a positive way to celebrate LA's cultural diversity.
My sister.
She's in the parade?
Yes,
Bella.
I'm
very excited. I love it. It's fun. It's just very welcoming, and everyone's spirit is really way up high.
According to the Chinese zodiac, this is the year of the pig. People born during this sign are known for being calm, creative, and maybe a little naive.
So Chinese New Year, it was on Tuesday. Chinese New Year was on Tuesday, but the festival lasts for 2 weeks. This is a holiday that I celebrate every year. For those of you who don't know, my mom is Chinese, and back in December, I was lucky enough to go back to the motherland. I went because the Chinese government invited our family to celebrate my great-grandfather's 130th anniversary. He was a war hero back in the 1930s, and today, almost 90 years later, much to my surprise, he's still celebrated in China.
That is my great-grandfather, General Zheng Guangnai, on the left-hand side, carved in stone at a park in Guangzhou, China's third largest city after Beijing and Shanghai. It's located in southern China, and every January, people in the province go to the park and pay tribute to him and bow at his grave, just like I did with my family during our trip. Back on January 28, 1932, when the Japanese were invading China, my great-grandfather led the 19th Infantry Army into battle in Shanghai. Going against orders to surrender from Chiang Kai-shek, General Zheng Guangnai held off the Japanese for months. The battle went down in history, and his strategy was documented in books. Even today, his strategy is studied by students. Zheng Guangnai is not only considered a military hero, he was also the governor of Fujian province and a philanthropist. He donated money to hospitals and schools, and when I was there, we visited a school named after him. During our visit, students put on a performance in his honor. There is a large bronze statue of him at the entrance of the school, which I learned is a top arts and science academy. I also got a chance to visit my great-grandfather's house in Humen, a small town between Hong Kong and Guangzhou where my great-grandfather was born back in 1888. His house remains empty, and there are pictures and information about his life on the walls. One picture includes my mom sitting on my grandmother, my pawpaw's lap. The government is currently building a permanent museum next door.
Before going on the trip, I had no idea that my great-grandfather was still so relevant, and now that I've been back to the motherland and connected with my roots, I could not be more proud and honored to be part of this man's DNA.
That is so amazing.
It honestly brought me to tears.
It makes you want to cry.
It makes me want to cry. And I just have to say, here's one of the books that's written about him. I think we're going to go to camera 3. I can't read it because it's in Chinese.
Right.
There's a translator out there. I'll hire you. Call me, text me. This is him.
That's really awesome. That's just like,
it gives me the chills. When I was a little kid, my mom would always say, "Oh yeah, he's written up in history books," and I was like, "Okay,
right.
He was in a history book, Mom. Okay, he's a big deal."
Yeah.
And I never thought that he was
the
until
statues and like all of that.
he's carved in the book. When we were there was a big anniversary celebration, and he was from this town in Humen, so I saved this. And while we were there, I opened this up, and this right here is my grandmother, my pawpaw. That's a picture.
Wow.
How old were you when you realized, like big deal?
2 months ago.
Wow.
When I was there, I didn't know. I always knew that he was a war hero, but I didn't know. I thought back in the 30s, you know, who's going to remember him? But he's still very, very relevant.
Well, here's the thing. This book is in Chinese. Your book could be in English. Maybe you should write a book.
In honor of him?
I mean, like in your free time.
Yeah, because I have so much of that. Thank you so much for letting me share. Thank you.
Very cool. And it's so appropriate with, celebrating the Chinese New Year. So it's so appropriate.
We have a segment on Chinese food next, on Chinese New Year. So
Right.
thank you so much for letting me share.
All right. Thank you, Liberty. That was awesome. Okay, we're going to be right back.